morning, everybody. How are we doing? The man's back outside with the lawnmower. 2 days on the trot. I told you that lawn was bad out there. Look, good morning to everyone. I've got a smile on my face. I'm laughing because I'm laughing at the Neymar transfer story. Laughed as soon as I saw it. Laughed when the first links came out a few weeks ago from Foot Mercato out in France. And I'm going to run through them this morning to serve as a bit of a warning. All right. It's going to serve as a bit of a warning for what's coming up this summer. Prepare yourselves, because I think every summer's always, you see it with every Manchester United summer transfer window, right? Loads of players linked, let alone when we're actually going to get new owners in. So it's going to get even crazier. And that's what I think this Neymar story serves as a warning for. I'll run through that. We'll speak about Newcastle drawing 0-0 with Leicester last night. Man United now can finish in the top three. Not that it matters. I'll be totally honest. Third or fourth, it doesn't really change too much in terms of qualification in the Champions League. I'll run through that. There's a couple of people down there saying that it might be slightly echoey this morning. There's nothing going on here. That's why I'm getting slightly distracted. 1, 2, 3. All seems fine there. I think it might be down to individuals rather than just me. Look, good morning to everyone who's down here from the community. We've got Robert Taylor watching on YouTube, Harry Lowe. We've got Anne. We've got Josh, Miss Teacup, Stuart, Stu, Carl, T, Natasha, Dorian. We've got, who else we've got down here? Oh, we've got somebody who's just joined as a member. We've got David Simpson. Good morning to you, sir. Darren, you're saying it's a little bit echoey. I apologize about that. It should be totally fine. I don't think it's on my end. Mo Salad, who's watching on Facebook, let's have a quick look. Look at that. David just joined. Nice to see you there, dude. We've got Perry watching from Wales with Edred. Look at that. The Welsh gang are out. Good morning to everyone there. Yes, Luke. We like comedy timing. I hope that becomes a running joke on the channel. Sam, mate, honestly, like your intros. I mean, seriously, just hurry up, man. I've got things to do. I've got tea to drink. Hurry up. That was a really funny thing. One thing I will start with to delay the intro just that little bit more, because I'm such a bastard, is over the last few weeks, I've been working with an artist to create 30 custom emojis for members of the channel that members can use in the live chat. It's a way of giving you an extra perk of being a member, because the membership gifting on this community is incredible, and I want to do more for you. So this is the first step. I've already done 20, and today we've added another 10 emojis. Not all of these are as creative as the other ones, because some of these are just text only, but they add something a little bit different. We've got one here, you're a legend. I'm sure we can use that when people are gifting memberships. We've got a simple yes and a simple no. All right. Just to add to the chat. UTFR. If you don't know what that means, go and Google it, because I can't be bothered to swear this early in the morning. MUFC, why not? And then we've got Barry. All right. We've got Barry. Or is it Sam Allardyce? I'm not quite sure. I think if it's Barry, I'm going to go for Barry. But this one's a wicked one. I love that one. Still got to get him on the bus when the Glazers go. We've got a little one of Georgie Best here. There's been better photos of him. Little Man United present. Little treble. And Barry's back. Or Sam Allardyce. That one definitely looks like Sam Allardyce. That's another 10 emojis. So that's 30 overall, just for the members to use in the live chat. I think they're wicked. They're very, very unique. And I like to think they're the best emojis out there. Barry Allardyce, that's exactly who it is. But there's a couple of Barrys in there now. So I hope you enjoy them. Hope you enjoy using them. And as I said, I'm working on other perks in the background. I promise there's so much more still coming on this channel with this community. So if you haven't already subscribed, if you haven't already joined as a member, you seriously should. You seriously should. Right, let's talk about the footy. Okay? Because last night, I'm not sure if you watched it. Hey. Very much a game where Newcastle just needed a draw. That's what I would describe that game as last night. I'm saying that. They had like 20-odd, 25 shots. Leicester are pretty much down now. I think Everton just need to win their last game of the season at home at Goodison Park, which you would... Who are they playing, actually? Didn't actually look at the fixtures. Let's see what the last day of the season's saying. Fixtures. Everton are playing Bournemouth at home on the last day of the season. Yeah. you'd expect that Leicester go down now. I would say congratulations to Newcastle, right? Congratulations to Newcastle because they are in the Champions League next season. And for Manchester United, as I said, an opportunity has arisen. Do you care if we finish third or fourth? Seriously, I'm asking you. Do you care if you finish third or Julie, I can see you down there on the Facebook instead of YouTube this morning. Look at that, all around the world. I apologise to everyone who's on Facebook, by the way. If you feel that it's slightly more neglected as a community than YouTube, the truth is that YouTube is so much better for communities and creators than Facebook is. Facebook is absolutely crap. Like, it's so hard to customize, to do anything. It's so much more straightforward to do it on YouTube. That's why, unfortunately, probably the YouTube community gets served a little bit better. I'm trying to fix that, but you blame Facebook for that, not me. Go down here and see what you're saying. Matthew, you would like to go third. Moses, you want to get third. I'm pretty sure this Champions League qualifier doesn't exist anymore. Can someone confirm that to me? I'm pretty sure that was a previous thing. So I don't think that is the case anymore. I think that was the case previously, but I think that's been scrapped. So I don't actually think realistically it changes too much for what happens next season. I think you might get a little bit more money. I don't know what the prize scale is and how much it changes. But yeah, United, it's all in our hands. Imagine that. This season, it's still possible, right? It's still... Look, Miss Teacup, you're saying, what kind of question is that, Sam? Obviously, you want to finish third. I'm not saying, do you want... Obviously, you'd rather finish third, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't. Oh, you finished third last season or fourth last season? Okay, well, you both qualify for the Champions League. Well, you got an extra 2 million. Well, it's kind of like that, but we have to get in there because we're talking about third and fourth right now. There is still a little tiny chance that we don't finish inside the top four. And the boys have got to get it done. On Thursday against Chelsea at Old Trafford, I want us to pump Chelsea. I want us to steamroll through Chelsea and get that game at Old Trafford that I feel that we've deserved on more than one occasion this season, where they fly in. Instead of 3-4 shots going wide, 3 or 4 shots fly in. Hey, look, third would be nice, but top four, that's what I want. That's the most important thing. And imagine we finish this season, right? Third, we finish with the League Cup, and hey, maybe the FA Cup. Obviously, Manchester United are underdogs in the FA Cup final. I don't think any United fan would argue otherwise. However, we have beaten City this season. We do know how to do it. That being said, this version of City now it seems like a relentless version. I think they've undefeated since the middle of February, played 23, won 19. They're going to be on course for a treble. They won't. The Champions League final is actually after the FA Cup final, but we could put a halt to that. Jake spoke about it on the podcast this week. He said that it could be one of the most important results in United's modern history in terms of protecting the legacy, because that treble, man. Right, let's get that emoji up. Where is it gone? This treble is such an important part of our legacy. It's our trump card. We are the only English club to have ever won this. And yeah, of course, there's going to be an asterisk over City's one until this 115 FFP charges are resolved. But nobody wants them. Nobody wants them to win it, apart from City fans. And there's only about 6 of them. Now, this is a good point by Ant, and this is kind of half the reason I pulled this up. He's saying, look, get the points against Chelsea, play the kids against Fulham. And that's what I mean. Like, what's more important to you? I think United's squad quality should be good enough to rest the likes of Bruno Fernandes. Who would you, right? So say Man United get a point or a win against Chelsea, and we secure top 4. Happy days. We go into the game against Fulham. Top 4 is already secured. Who do you rest against Fulham? Surely you rest Bruno. You definitely don't start Rashford. Anthony, because we've got Pellistri on the bench, Anthony gets a rest as well. You keep Varane on the bench. You might just leave De Gea out of it. Sure, you definitely leave out of it. That's like 5, 6, 7. I mean, it's a risk, sure, but top 4 is already done. So what's more important to you? Securing that 3rd instead of 4th place, or everybody getting a rest and an extra few days off ahead of the FA Cup final? That's something to really think about. But ultimately, just do it against Chelsea. It's only got to be a draw. If we get an early goal against Chelsea, we can control that game of football. And we don't even, it's just fine. Please, just get the point against Chelsea. I'm absolutely fine if it ends up being one of these. I'm totally fine with that. 0-0, I'll take that. I will celebrate like that is the best 0-0 that's ever happened. Going down here, looking at the comments, lots and lots of you are saying, look, everybody gets a rest. Maybe apart from David De Gea. If we get our point against Chelsea, says no, I'll be happy for 11 Maguires against Fulham. That would be a sad occasion. I think Maguire would get a start, probably, against Fulham. I think Maguire would get the send-off, get a send-off. Wouldn't get the send-off I think he deserves, but I don't think he deserves a particularly huge send-off. Do you remember when, who was it? Rio went out the back door. Like so many legends from that Fergie team. Their exits were really weird. I'll always remember that Vidic, I think, agreed a transfer in January, and it felt a little bit like the captain was jumping ship. I remember that. I remember Rio sort of leaving without really too much noise. I think the same thing you could say about Evra. Rooney was a little bit different. I remember that at the time. Anyway, let's move on. Because I want to speak about the headline of the show today. I want to speak about Neymar. Neymar. Don't know why I just sang his name. This really has to serve as a warning for everybody for what's coming up this summer. Now, I don't need to be the one that tells you every single summer, tons of players are linked to Manchester United, and I don't know, 60, 70, 80% of them just turn out to be guff, pure guff. Now, the question I want to leave to you first before we speak about Neymar is a question I proposed on Twitter last night. A simple yes or a no answer, right? I can see that the new no emoji is getting used pretty well. Man, that looks pretty cool in the comments, actually. That's why some of the text emojis are sometimes better than the pictures, because you can visually see it a little bit more. Neymar, right? Yes or no? I'm asking the community. I'm leaving it down there. We'll check it at the end of the show. There's a couple of super chats there. Let me read these out before we speak about Neymar. Let me go back to that photo there. Right. JVD, how you doing, buddy? Thank you very much for super chat. Let me get this out up here for you. Saying, morning, Sam. Have you heard what Carragher did? Maguire did? What Carragher did with Martinez? I did. We'll be speaking about that in a little bit. But cheers for the super chat, dude. And yeah, I'm looking forward to having that conversation. Well, then we kind of had that conversation already, remember, after, I think it was the overlap. Alex, you're saying we don't need another massive ego in a circus. Well, I don't think you're going to be the only one that thinks that, Alex. And I think you shouldn't be the only one. Now, if we go to where the stories come from, it's come from L'Equipe in France, who was suggesting that Manchester United are in this. It's not that we were in the talks or discussions. They were suggesting that we were thinking about making a move for him and that Casemiro was giving it the thumbs up. Yeah, go on, Eric. Bring him in. Neymar. Honestly, I think, would he tick any box? Like, in terms of the profile of a player that Ten Hag would like, would he tick any box? Left wing, he's not starting left wing ahead of Rashford. We don't really play with the number 10 anymore. And if we do, it's Bruno Fernandes. Hell no, he's not playing there. He's not going to play as the striker. I mean, he might do. Not really. Right wing, yeah, he's not really a right winger. There's no real position he fits in the team. His injury record is absolutely abysmal, let alone the wages he would command, let alone the temperament and the attitude of it. Every single part of this transfer stanks. Absolutely stanks. And as I said, this needs to serve as a warning for United fans, because this summer our club is going to get used even more so than an average summer. We always do every summer. Just, oh yeah, well, we need to sell a player. Well, let's just link him to United. There we go. Just get some interest there. That'll do. That'll drive the price up a little bit. I will try and sort of sift through it and give you the good stuff and tell you to avoid the bad stuff. Fabrizio just made a 10-minute video on Neymar, apparently. Did he? Well, there you go. Mate, this Neymar stuff is pure, unadulterated guff. And I think it's just, all it is it's newspapers using the opportunity of the fact that we've got a potential Qatari takeover. We've got a potential Ratcliffe takeover. Now, I did my video on the Nice situation yesterday. Yeah, I gave my thoughts on that. I don't really want to speak about that again today. If you want to go and have a look, go and have a look. But in terms of the profiles of players, of everything that Ten Hag has done so far, of all the mistakes that Manchester United have made with previous big superstar signings, I mean, there are so many red flags here with Neymar. You can't see anything else. And that's what I mean. Just try not to get too sucked into it. I'll try and sift through it for you. So if you follow United People's TV, we can all stay on the same sort of the straight and narrow as much as we possibly can. But hey, this is a warning about what is coming up next this summer. I think it's going to be bigger and more feral than it has been before. That would be my prediction. Spence, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for the super chat. He's saying, why would we finally shift on injury-prone Martial and then replace him with injury-prone Neymar? I'll double the wages. Get in, Lebin. Well, let's see what everyone's saying in the poll so far. Oh, that's the wrong thing. We've got 500 votes in the first 3 minutes. Big up the community. We've got 76% of you saying no, with 24% of you saying yes. Well, that's not as... I was expecting a little bit more than that. I'll be totally honest. 25% of you would want that. Nah, man. Nah, man, not at all. Jordan saying, you missed my 9-month super chat. Where are we going over here? I think I tell everybody a million times. Maybe you just never hear it at the right time. I can't see that on the software I use. I have to open a separate, different screen because it just doesn't show up on here. I don't know why. Don't have a go at me. Have a go at the software. Jordan, you've said that I can see him being a virus here. Well, maybe that's a little bit harsh, but nah, there's absolutely no way. Yeah, someone's down there. Pete saying will be another Sanchez. Absolutely reeks of Alexis Sanchez. And I think that was one of the most damaging transfers we've made post-Fergie was Alexis Sanchez because of the ripple effect. Cheers, James, using your phrase. The ripple effect of what happened after Sanchez came in with the wages. That was terrible. That was terrible, that transfer. But look, that's what I'm saying, okay? Neymar, pure nonsense. Don't get sucked into it and prepare yourselves for what is coming up next. Apparently, I've copped out of something, says Scott. What have I copped out of? I don't know what I've copped out of. Anyway, let's move on to this. And I know this is a talking point for lots of people. These were Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville's Monday Night Football Season Awards. I think we'll do this, won't we? We'll do this as a community. We'll do this. Maybe we can do this. Could do this live? We probably could do this live. We'll do it. We'll do our own United Season Awards. I think United's awards, if I remember correctly, are next Monday, the day after the game against Fulham. That's where we'll get the Matt Busby Player of the Year, Goal of the Season, XYZ. But in terms of our own surprise of the season, and look, of course, that's going to be the talking point down there. Jamie Carragher saying that Lisandro Martinez is his biggest surprise of the season. But guys, he already said that on the overlap. Like, how long ago? I don't know. 6 weeks? Thereabouts? I remember replying to it. I said, look, you're an idiot, but you've apologized. We'll move on. I don't think we need to speak about it. Yeah, Jamie Carragher just made himself look like an absolute fool because he was that sort of pundit, that sort of football fan who makes a massive sweeping statement immediately when a player joins and then gets proven completely and utterly wrong. It's almost like you need to do your research. It's that desire to shout. Doesn't matter whether you're right or wrong. Just shout as loud as you possibly can from the tallest place and make the most noise. And that's what matters on the internet. That's what matters in life. No, it's kind of better to be correct. But Jamie Carragher, yeah, I don't really care about Jamie Carragher. Gary Neville saying that Casemiro is a signing of the season. Is that what you would agree with? It's either Casemiro. It depends on what point of the season you focus on, really. Because I think there's a shout for Eriksen, there's a shout for Martinez, there's a shout for Casemiro. I don't think Anthony can be involved in that conversation. And Tyra Malacia, well, no, not really. It probably is Casemiro across the course of the season, across the influence. It's between Casemiro or Martinez for me personally, but we can have that debate a little bit further down the line as a community. It's an interesting one. But yeah, Jamie Carragher already apologized about Lisandro Martinez, so I don't know why anybody's really talking about it. Erik ten Hag is a signing of the season, says Alan. You're not wrong there. Let me quickly open the window. It's hot as hell in here. There we go. That's better. Brian, you're saying, will the award show be a live stream? Well, it'll be live on MUTV. It won't be live on here. I think people would get bored if I was here for 3 hours talking through a live show. We can just talk through the winners in the morning show the day after. I think we will. Anyway, let's go on to the next talking point. And it's Harry Kane. Fabrizio Romano on the United stand yesterday saying that Manchester United feel internally, just deep inside there. Feel deep inside there that Harry Kane is the perfect striker for them. Now, Harry Kane, Victor Osimhen. That's the main conversation. I mean, that Rasmus Højlund is a name that creeps up. He's a name that's in the mix, but he's not really going to be that elite level goal scorer next season that we look at and we can depend on for goals. It is Harry Kane or Victor Osimhen. Now, Fabrizio Romano's confirmed it. Spalletti looks like he's leaving Napoli. That's good for anybody who wants to sign Napoli's players. But Napoli are going to charge a premium, a serious premium for Osimhen. Honestly, I think you're talking somewhere in the region of 130 to 150 million euros. I don't think United are paying that. Nor do I think we should pay that. Of course, I also don't think that United should be paying 100 million for a 30-year-old. However, Harry Kane, man. What can we have a little few minutes chat about Harry Kane? Because it doesn't matter, in my opinion anyway. I don't think there's anybody who can fairly argue and tell me that Harry Kane would be a bad signing. That bloody lawnmower's back. It's one of those old school lawnmowers, like the one from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Jeez, man. Live streaming here. Conversations to have. Vlahovic is a name that's coming down in the comments there. Obviously, Juve, they got their 10-point deduction confirmed, didn't they? Then they lost 4-1 to Empoli. Whoopsie. So he could well be leaving. Bit of a cut price. Nah, that could be an option. But Harry Kane, I want you to look at this, right? Actually, I'm going to read a few of your comments out first, and then I will show you something quickly. Vicky Brissett, great film. I watched it the other day. Again, man, love that film. What else I like? Rescuers Down Under. That was a cracker. Hook. Anyway, we're going to get distracted here. Does Osimhen have a 120 mil release clause? I've never heard that. Kane is old. Osimhen is young. What do you think? Isn't it weird that people look at 30 in football and just scream, ah, like there's no chance. He's old. He's dead. Give him a wheelchair. Realistically, and this is something that me and the lads spoke about in the podcast. Harry Kane has never, ever relied on pace for his success. Ever. And what's the first thing you lose when you're older? Yep, it's that pace. It's that yard. It's that explosive acceleration. That's the first thing you lose with age. You don't lose your knowledge. You don't lose your touch. And Harry Kane has never relied on that pace. I genuinely think Harry Kane, you probably get 3 to 4 years at the absolute elite level with Harry Kane in the Premier League. And you're telling me that that's not worth it? Now, Harry Kane is not going to be that aggressive pressing striker. So I do think that Ten Hag will have to slightly tweak his ideal style at Manchester United. You know how he played against Spurs? I said that was the blueprint when Fred started in that game. And we were pressing Spurs so high up the pitch. I don't think we can necessarily do that with Harry Kane. But look at this, right? It's a big old chart here. Let me go a little bit bigger on the screen so it can help you see it. What this shows here is, look, the offensive contribution of the players in the Premier League. Who is carrying their team the most? Up this axis here, he's saying the percentage of his team's goals that this player has scored. And let me go scroll out a little bit here so you can see it. This is the percentage of his team's shot-creating actions without dead balls being used as part of that equation. Let's get 2 circles here that we need to speak about. Number 1, Bruno Fernandes. He's creating nearly just shy of 20% of all of Manchester United's shots. But look up here. It really is ridiculous what Harry Kane has done this season. Honestly. And I think this deserves a video in itself. But the potential link up between Harry Kane and Bruno Fernandes is mind-boggling. If, of course, this is hypothetical, if Manchester United were to sign Harry Kane this summer, and next season we've got Kane and Fernandes, mate, I don't think anybody's going to moan about Harry Kane's pace. Someone asking where Son is on the list. Son's not on the list there. What are the United players have we got down here? We've got Marcus Rashford up there. Look, heavily scoring a lot of our goals. Look at that. Bloody Erling Haaland and City. My word. Who else we got down here? No other United players on that list there. Harry Kane and Bruno Fernandes. It could be absolutely incredible next season. I'm gonna see what you're saying down here in the comments, right? Let me see what you're saying. We can get money back for Osimhen in the next few years. We'll get nothing back for Kane. If we win the Premier League with Kane, who gives a crap how much we get back for Kane? Honestly, who does? 2 years too late for Kane, says Liam. Man, I don't think anybody can logically dismiss the idea of Harry Kane. I don't think anybody could logically dismiss the idea of Victor Osimhen. That's the thing that surprises me in the comments. Like, I think you can have your preference. You can be like, yeah, Harry Kane and Osimhen. He goes, I prefer Harry Kane because he's Premier League proven, or I prefer Osimhen because he's got that athletic. He's so much more of an athlete. He's so much more of somebody they're very different profiled strikers. Osimhen's not going to be the dude. Osimhen is not going to be the dude that creates, that links up. But he is going to be the dude that is in the right position pretty much every time to get on the end of it. And he's a very clinical striker. Harry Kane has played different. And down there, you're saying you totally disagree because you look at Kane's heat map. It's almost like Spurs are shit, Ant. Almost like Spurs are an abysmal team. And Harry Kane has had to become the play. Harry Kane has effectively created the chances that he's gone on to finish. It's funny when you watch Spurs play. Harry Kane at Manchester United will not have to do that. And he will just operate. He'll operate as a number 9 that drops a bit deep, but he won't be doing it in the same level as Spurs at all. People think he's going to come into Spurs and just start like elbowing Bruno Fernandes. Oh, geez, no space here. We're ruining each other's games. No, it's just because Spurs are so naff that Kane's had to be the playmaker and the finisher. Now, I've already done a video earlier I don't know, it must have been about 6 weeks ago, with the red flags about Harry Kane. And it's all around Daniel Levy. It's all around, it's all around Daniel Levy and dealing with Spurs. There are red flags there, definitely. I suppose there's red flags with any transfer. There's not too many. There's certain transfers where you go, well, man, done. Incredible. But most transfers, there's always like, not sure. Maybe yes or no. Terry Tibbs. Kane is an average striker. I don't think he is, Terry. But I appreciate you joining in. Phone Jacker, eh? Man, Phone Jacker was good back in the day. Phone Jacker and Face Jacker. Elite level Channel 4 TV, they were. Who said Kane's injury prone? Right? Let's dispel that rumor quickly. Kane injury record. That is somebody who's holding on to something that was correct. I don't know. What? Maybe 3 years ago? 3 years ago? Thereabouts. Right. Let's have a look quickly at Harry Kane's injury record. The last time he missed a game through injury was in the 2020-21 season, where he missed 2 games. Balls of Steel wasn't better, but I did enjoy Balls of Steel. Nedge, was it Nedge? I enjoyed Nedge. Anyway, Kane's injury record is not a problem anymore. All right, so let's not spread falsities up here, people. All right, let's not spread falsities. Jibak, you're saying number 1, Kane. Thank you very much, super chat, dude. I'm really interested to know where you all stand on this, because this isn't just like a definitive. Let's go and sign Harry Kane or let's go and sign Osimhen, because I understand the logic for both. Kane is a now signing. If we don't win a title by 2025, we have to replace with 5-6 key players, including him. What has he ever won? He's England's best choker. Man, England are chokers. Spurs are chokers. He's been with the club and the country, which are defined by how much they choke. And you might say that, mate, as soon as you got that second penalty against, was it France? I was like, please. Because it must be so hard for a striker to get 2 penalties in the same game and think, do I put it in the same spot? I think people were really, mate, I think Harry Kane scored in 28 different games this season for Spurs? Like, so many games where Spurs are bang average and he still manages to pop one in. Imagine what could happen when he's in a team with Bruno Fernandes and a team with Eriksen and a team who actually creates and a team where he doesn't have to become that playmaker. Oy. Glass ankles is an old conversation. Nathan, thanks for the super chat, dude. You're saying spot on. He isn't going to join a different team in a system and play the same role. Hysteria thinking he's going to step on Bruno's toes. I think that's genuine. That's madness. That's madness. And anybody who says Kane is average, as I said, that's madness as well. Like, I understand the concerns about the price versus the age. I agree with you. However, I think you're looking at between 3 and 5 elite level. I'm talking like guaranteed 20 plus goals in the Premier League sorts of seasons. I reckon you're getting between 3 and 5 of them with Harry Kane, even at that age. So it's the concept here of in an ideal world, and I'll move on to this in a sec. Let me get Jordan's super chat up first. What are you saying, sir? Give Napoli 150 to 60 million for Osimhen and the defense. Could you imagine that we spent that much on an individual, Jordan? I'll ask everyone down here. Right. Would you sign Osimhen for 150 million? Yes or no? Because I'm not sure there's any individual in world football. I'm sure there's a couple. That I would go 150 mil. Go on then. That's basically our entire budget. That's mad. No way. 150 mil for Osimhen and is that for 2 players? Let's have a look. Maybe I read it out wrong. And the defender. My bad. 150 mil for Osimhen and Kim Min-jae. Well, that's a conversation to be had. My bad. Sorry, Jordan. Didn't mean to call you out there. But I'm going to be speaking about Kim Min-jae in a little bit. But yeah, Harry Kane, look, if Manchester United this summer could get Harry Kane And boom. Marcus Thuram on a free. That would mean for 100 million. I know that, look, I'm going to be hypothetical here, and it probably won't happen, right? But if Manchester United were to sign Harry Kane for 100 million, were to sign sign Marcus Thuram on a free and sell Martial for what I think should be 20 million, and then Weghorst leaves, that means for a net 80 million, we've gone from Martial and Weghorst to Kane and Thuram. Staggering. The price, I don't really. I've got the genuine question here, right? Put it in the comments. I'll be interested to know where you actually stand on this. How much do you genuinely think Harry Kane's going to go for if he leaves Spurs this summer? How much do you think? Because 100 mil is the number I've got in my head. I don't know whether I'm completely right or wrong with that. But how much do you think he's actually going to go for? Because, as I said, according to Fabrizio Romano, United are looking at Kane and going, yep, he's the man. He's our guy. Victor Osimhen, I think if the price was cheaper, I think he would be in a conversation. I think he probably is in a conversation as well. But I imagine the price is going to push us away from that. Osimhen, maybe to Chelsea. But I mean, really? How are they going to sign any players? Let me go down here and see what you're thinking about Harry Kane and that price. Fatty, you're going 80 to 90 mil plus add-ons. Should be no more than 60 because he's got 1 year left. Steve, if you try and get Kane for 60 mil, he's going to stay at Spurs and see that contract out and leave for free next summer. Ray, you're saying 80 to 100 mil, 60 to 70 plus Martial. Hey, Martial. Hey, Spurs, you want to sign a French striker? Oh, yeah. Got a good one for you. 90 mil, says Adam. 80 mil, says Bjornar. 90, 100 plus, says Tom. 70 to 80. Trish is going nice and cheap. 85 grand. Easy. I'll take that. 80 to 100 mil, says Old School Game Cat. Lily, you're going up between 100 and 130. I think 100. 100 is probably the. If I was Manchester United, that would be the bid that I would go in with. I don't know whether I'll be right or wrong, but next summer, I can't wait until we've got a striker next summer. We're going to have a new striker. I don't know who it's going to be yet. Will it be Kane? Will it be Osimhen? Will it be Marcus Thuram? Will it be Gonzalo Ramos, Rasmus Højlund, Dusan Vlahovic? I don't know. All right, but certainly this man. He's leading the way in terms of the feeling of the rumors. And that's all we can do. We can just follow the path and interpret it how we interpret it. But it seems like Kane is top of that list. And I honestly, I do. The more I think about it and the more I drop him in that team, the more I think Kane would be an incredible signing. And you're down there saying, with a fair point, that's assuming Chelsea don't try and sign him. But Daniel Levy, for all of his flaws, I do not think he'd sell to Chelsea. I know he's like shredded up so much of his legacy there, but surely, even with Poch there, surely they wouldn't sell Kane to Chelsea. I can't rule it out. I didn't really think Poch would go to Chelsea, but I think Spurs messed up there and he went to Chelsea. So maybe Kane could go there. But I'd be very surprised about that. That would be an absolute riot, surely. And I don't think Kane would do that. I'm going to go back to that. Kane, I think what's obvious about Harry Kane, and not a lot of people agree with it, legacy is something that's hugely important to him, almost to the point where that's more important than trophies. It's clear that Kane wants that Premier League golden boot. He wants to be the top goal scorer of all time in the Premier League. He's not going to leave the Premier League. Even if Bayern Munich came sniffing, I think I agree with the lads on the podcast. I don't think he'd leave England. And you're like, he can become a monster at Chelsea. Yeah, he become a monster to every Spurs fan who idolizes him. And I think the legacy for Harry Kane is more important than that concept. And I don't think he would go there. That's what I think. Might be completely wrong. Let's find out. Let's move on to another couple word transfer conversations because, yeah, we're getting into transfer season. Now, so, Jordan, you mentioned Kim Min-jae. Fabrizio down here again, mentioning him and saying, look, Manchester United, we are definitely keen on signing him. Now, I wanted to ask you a question, as I always do. Love the engagement, as always. If you were to choose between Kim Min... I don't know whether I've asked this question before. I think so. I might have. I'm not sure. If you were to choose between Kim Min-jae and Jurrien Timber, you can only sign one of them. Which one would you go for? Because it seems like United are really keen on Kim Min-jae. If you're looking at where he'd fit in our starting 11, he would go in there and start ahead of Raphael Varane, you would presume, and it would be Varane and Kim going toe-to-toe with each other. Jurrien Timber would come in and basically, in my eyes, he would then be the backup to Raphael Varane and probably come in and be a starting right back. And he'd kind of dovetail between the two positions. He'd be more of not in an offensive way, but more of like a utility squad player, somebody who fits in that centre back role, right centre back role when needed, and somebody who fits in at that right back when needed too. And he certainly would help the progression and possession, the build up, play out from the back, Jurrien Timber, as would Kim. Two very different types of defensive signings. One just like a man, he is a monster. He is a defensive monster. Kim and Martinez as a partnership could be incredible. Let me see what you're saying down here. How old is Kim? I think he's 26. Look, 26 on the money. You know, sometimes you just got a little bit of knowledge back there. You don't even realize it's there. There you go. Yeah, he is 26. Kim says Liam. Joe Gomez, that's a random. At best, Timber is a right back. If we sell, I think if we were to get Timber, I think you could see Delo leave. I think out of the two, you probably keep Wan-Bissaka for his defensive capabilities. There are certain games against certain wingers, like Mitoma or like St. Maximin, where Wan-Bissaka just came in and just nullified the threat. That's why I think you probably keep him. And you go for Timber because of his versatility. It's a tough choice, Paul. It is a tough choice because I think both of them, you could, if we're being greedy, we're taking both of them. We're taking Kim. We're taking Jurrien Timber. We're having both. Lovely, lovely. But I think that kind of deserves a video unto itself. I might do a little short video on that tomorrow. So I've been thinking about it because both players, you understand the profiles. They fit Ten Hag style signings. They're kind of different types of signings. See, I can see, and you mentioned down there, Gvardiol in the comments. Hey, we ain't getting Gvardiol. How much is he going to cost? Remember watching him at the World Cup? My word. One absolute monster. He stinks of Man City. Stinks of it. However much they're going to sign him for. No, Matt, go away with your telling me about the pronunciations of Kim. I'm calling him Kim. I can't get Kim wrong. All right, Kim, easy. Jurrien. Well, not easy, but I know that one. All right, I'm just going to stick to Kim. And I can't offend the name Kim. Another name that's sort of, I would say, tentatively on the list at this point in time is Ryan Gravenberch. I really, really do think this could be a very smart signing for Manchester United. Well, what I quickly want to say here before, it's only taken me 45. I'm so crap at remembering this. Lads and ladies, we've only got 7 days left on the draw. 7 days left. Grab your raffle ticket for £1. And I'm going to do the draw just at the end of the month. We've had a PS5 winner. That was done. We've had an Xbox winner. That was done. And now we're doing £500 cash. And if you can, take 1 second now and drop a like on the video. It does make a big, big difference. Because if I look here, let's have a look at the poll. We've got 1,200 votes on the poll with 72% of you saying no to Neymar. I like 72% of you, 28% of you. We've got to have a conversation. But nearly 1,300 votes on the poll. And there's only 300 likes on the video. I shouldn't laugh about it because it's not really that funny, but it is quite funny. 1,000 of you have engaged with the poll, but you haven't liked the video. If you can, just take 1 second and do it. It does make the world of difference, and it'll mean the world to me. Thank you. Mo, you're saying, can't believe we'll see Vinny versus Wan-Bissaka this summer. What's happening there? Am I missing out what game that is? Is that, I don't know what that is. Vinicius Junior versus Wan-Bissaka. Oh, you mean the preseason tour? I might go to. I was looking at the games yesterday. I might go and do New York. That's what I'm thinking. I might go to the New York game for the preseason. United against, I think it's Arsenal on the 22nd of July. I might do that one. So I was looking at the preseason tour because you could do it all. A, that would be hella expensive. B, I wouldn't be able to work properly. So I might choose to go to the New York one. We'll see. We'll see, all right? But that could be fun. Apparently I missed Super Chat down there. Let me go down here. Man, I keep missing Super Chats. I'm so terrible. Alex, you're saying, how you doing, buddy? You're saying, Kudus wants to leave Ajax at 40 mil, yes or no? Who is it was saying that? I think it was David Ornstein saying that he's turned down that 1-year extension and could be leaving. Kudus, I think the conversation around him is probably about a year late. I think we're pretty stacked in the winger department. Left wing, I'm looking at Garnacho and Rashford and Sancho. Right wing, I'm looking at Anthony and Ahmad and Pellistri. Kudus would be good, but nah, not so much. Not so much. Jordan, you're saying Kim is 6'3" and Timber is 5'10". Yeah, they're different players. And if you really want to have a what is your name? Is it Jordan Massey or is it Jordan Carragher? What's going on there? The height of a player does not particularly matter as long as they've got the aggression and they've got everything else to match and make up for it. JDM, thank you very much for the super chat, dude. You're saying, personally, I find Vinny Jr. at Man United with all the racing, mate. I haven't really commented on that, but it's fucking. I don't know what way to describe it. Sad is the wrong way, but in the 21st century, we're still seeing this all season long. I think it was about 4 months ago, before the Madrid derby, when the Atletico Madrid ultras hung an effigy of Vinicius over a bridge. And then this week, and I think if you, I don't need to get into what the ins and outs of it are, but it's fucking sad. I don't know the right word to describe it. It's disgusting. Yeah, it's unacceptable. Yeah, but it's all still to be happening. And what makes it worse is the La Liga president is coming out and pointing the finger at Vinicius instead of saying, "Yeah, well, this is a serious systemic problem that we need to root out from the inside." Instead, he's pointing his finger at Vinicius, going, "Wow, actually, you're part of the problem." Get fucked. It's ridiculous. I mean, if you want to come to United, Vinicius, man, I'm welcome. Come on, man. In you come. Man, Vinicius, he is such a good player. He is such a good player. And I hope he leaves La Liga and just gives it the two fingers. But I don't think he will. I think he'll want to try and beat it. And I hope he can. Jeez. Remember when we were taking the knee in the Premier League and it felt like it had power at some point, and then it sort of drifted into becoming that was something more symbolic than anything. And you see people getting, like Ivan Toney getting Ivan Toney getting like an 8-month ban for betting regulations. But then what happens when there's racism? Oh, not much. Oh, okay. Well, okay. Seems I can see what's more important to you. Jordan got offended. Sorry, but you did compare the heights of them, so I felt like it was right. Something I really want to point out, right, was this from yesterday. Which one of these do you think got a red card? Oh yeah, it was Casemiro. Now I didn't actually see that in real time, so I imagine this still image is probably worse than it actually was. Hence why he only got a yellow card. But the fact that Casemiro got a red card for that, and Bruno got a yellow for that, I mean, come on. Really? Make your mind up. Make your mind up. Seriously, that's what I would say. I just wanted to point out. I've no idea how he got away with that. Ridiculous tackle. Josh, you're saying it wasn't worse in pictures. The challenge was awful. Well, there you go. It's just make your mind up. I think we spoke about it on the podcast this week, actually, Casemiro, and how it kind of feels like since his second red card, he's kind of played within himself, hasn't he? He's lost that little bit of his edge, which he always felt like he had, because he's worried about getting the red. Hopefully he can find... Yeah, he's got to stop getting red cards, man. You can argue against both red cards, really. And Casemiro, clearly he could get away with more in the league than he can in the Premier League. But look, last 2 minutes of the show, you know what to do. Send in your questions, can be about anything. The headline from today's show, and I'm going to look at the poll here now and the results, because nearly 1,500 of you have voted and 72% of you have said no to Neymar. And I agree with 72% of you. It's so against anything we need in this team, positionally, in terms of the profile. It's just every single box pretty much has got a cross in it. Wages, injury record, profile, position, attitude, start that. No. And it is going to be a bad summer. It's going to be a bad summer, man. This really is. And, you mentioned that down there. This was it. I think it was El Pay in Spain, a Spanish newspaper, saying that United have got £500 million to spend. Huh? And I've seen somebody's done a thread on it to try and prove, yeah, you could spend 500 mil. Okay. You can show all the numbers that you want in the world, but we're not spending 500 mil this summer. If we sell correctly, our budget will go up significantly, but no, we're not spending 500 mil. What we're saying down here in the comments. Anything on Frankie de Jong, says Nikita? I hope not. I very much hope not. We shouldn't be signing... Well, we should be signing de Jong. We're not going to sign de Jong. We shouldn't be wasting our time chasing a shadow. We did that last summer. Learn from your mistakes, United. Move on. There will be other players. De Jong's the golden standard. I've already done the video on that. But I'd much rather we spent our energy and time going after Moises Caicedo than we did going after Frankie de Jong. Raymond, you're saying, who would you take from the teams that went down? I've already mentioned him a few times, but Romeo Lavia. I think he'd be the perfect understudy to Casemiro. He's young enough that he wouldn't be angry at working his way into the team over the next couple of years. He'd be a perfect player to use in cup games. He can learn from Casemiro. He'd love to learn from Casemiro, the absolute best in the world. And then in 2 years' time, when he's 21, he could come in and Casemiro could go out of the team. Transition. That could work out perfectly. Funky Bumpkin with a very, very random question. Am I alone in thinking Vardy would have done well at United? I think he would have done. He's been still banging in goals, isn't he? Is Kane coming to United a bad move for financial return and length of his time due to his age? Jonathan, maybe I'm a hypocrite saying this. I don't care about the financial return on Kane. Because if we win a Premier League title, he's worth every single penny. And that's ultimately why we would be signing Kane. We would sign Kane to try and make us competitive until May, until the very end in the Premier League. And if we sign Kane and win a title in the next 3 years, you think anybody's going to mention how much he cost? It will be a footnote. Nobody will give a toss. Jonathan David or Dusan Vlahovic? I think probably for what? Ooh, it's a good question, that. My immediate response would be, I've seen more of Jonathan David, and I know the profile of him a bit more, but Dusan Vlahovic he's a specimen. He's a very, very good striker. Very powerful as well. So I don't really know that one. What do you think about Willie Nonto from Leeds as backup? He's a good player. We don't really need any more wingers. We don't need any more wingers. That's my opinion anyway. Hey, look, we'll wrap this up now. I love doing these shows every morning. I say it every day, but I genuinely mean it. I enjoyed that chat. I'm glad that 75% of you agree with me about Neymar. 25% of you will work on you. We'll work on you. We'll mold you. Because there ain't no way that Neymar will be a good signing for Manchester United. I call it nonsense. Members, I hope you enjoy we've got 30 custom emojis now. They're all completed. I'm still working on the software. Oh, I can't wait until the software's ready. Seriously. Slog. But look, thank you all for tuning in. I'll be here at lunchtime today. I might do my Chelsea 11 video today. Either today or tomorrow. Haven't quite decided. But look, drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you soon. I'll see you tomorrow morning. And at lunchtime today. Well. That would be rude of me to not do that. Alex, You caught me out. You ruined the outro. But big up to you. What a ledge. Take it easy, everyone. Outro number 2.